Let me ask you something. Have you ever watched a guy walk into a room and suddenly all eyes are on him? He's not the best looking, not the tallest, not even dressed that well. But something about him just hits different. He's magnetic, he's mysterious, he's irresistible. And here's the kicker, he probably doesn't even know why. The truth? Irresistible men don't rely on looks. They activate something deeper, something psychological. Today, we're diving into 7 dark psychology-backed traits that make a man irresistibly attractive without ever needing to flex his muscles or his bank account. But first, let me tell you what this isn't about. This isn't about manipulation. It's not about tricks or games or becoming someone you're not. This is about understanding the primal psychology that drives human attraction and becoming the most authentic, powerful version of yourself. Because here's what most guys get wrong. They think attraction is about what you have. Your car, your job, your abs, your money. But attraction, real attraction, it's about who you are when no one's watching. It's about the energy you carry, the way you move through the world, the way you make people feel without saying a word. And that energy? It's built on these 7 psychological foundations. Let's get into it. 1. Controlled mystery. There's something insanely powerful about a man who doesn't overshare. He's present, engaging, but never too available. You don't know what he's thinking, what he does when he's alone, or what makes him tick. And that drives women crazy. Psychologically, mystery creates intrigue, which triggers emotional investment. She starts imagining you. And imagination builds obsession far faster than facts ever could. But here's where most guys mess this up. They think mystery means being cold, distant, or playing hard to get. That's not it at all. True mystery is about being selectively vulnerable. You share enough to create connection, but you hold back enough to maintain intrigue. You're warm and engaging in person, but you don't text every thought that crosses your mind. You have depth, but you reveal it in layers, not all at once. Think about your favorite movie or book series. What keeps you hooked? It's not knowing everything up front. It's the slow reveal. The questions that get answered just as new ones emerge. You are the main character in your own story. And main characters don't give away the entire plot in the first 5 minutes. The less you say, the more she wants to know. 2. Command of space. No, not dominating. Not aggressive, but there's a certain energy in how you move through a room. You walk with purpose. You make eye contact, calm, slow, unbothered. You sit like you belong there. This is called spatial confidence, and it's primal. Women subconsciously link this to strength, safety, and leadership. You're not trying to own the space. You just already do. But let's dig deeper into what this actually looks like. When you enter a room, you're not rushing to find a corner to hide in. You're not frantically looking for someone you know. You pause for just a moment, take in the room, and then move with intention. Your shoulders are back, not forced, but naturally relaxed. Your steps are deliberate. When you sit, you take up the space you need without apologizing for it. When someone's talking to you, you turn your entire body toward them, not just your head. This isn't about being the loudest or the most attention-seeking person in the room. It's about being comfortable in your own skin, wherever that skin happens to be. And women notice this immediately, because spatial confidence communicates something primal. This man can protect. This man can provide. This man knows where he belongs. 3. The deep voice trick. Science confirms this one. A slightly lower voice tone in men is directly linked to higher testosterone, perceived dominance, and increased sexual attraction. But it's not just the pitch, it's the pace. Slow, deliberate, intentional speech activates trust and power. It forces people to lean in and listen. You don't need a voice like Batman, but if you can slow down and own your words, you'll sound 10x more seductive. Here's what's happening psychologically. When you speak slowly and deliberately, you're communicating that you're not nervous. You're not rushing to get your words out before someone interrupts you. You believe what you're saying is worth hearing. And that confidence, it's contagious. Most guys talk too fast. They rush through their sentences, afraid of awkward silences, afraid of losing someone's attention. But silence isn't your enemy. It's your secret weapon. Learn to pause. Let your words sink in. Don't be afraid of the space between sentences, because in that space, people are processing what you just said. They're feeling the weight of your words. Practice speaking from your chest, not your throat. Breathe deeper. Take your time. Your voice is an instrument, and like any instrument, it's more beautiful when played with intention. It's not what you say. It's how you make them feel when you say it. Calm under pressure. When something goes wrong, do you panic or do you get calmer? Nothing attracts women like a man who can keep his cool. It signals emotional control. It shows maturity, and it makes people feel safe around you. In dark psychology terms, calmness is a form of psychological dominance. It says, I can handle myself and anyone else in this room. But let's be real for a moment. This is the hardest trait to develop because it goes against every instinct we have. When the pressure's on, when things go wrong, our natural response is to react, to stress, to show our emotions. But here's the thing about attractive men. They've learned to respond, not react. When the waiter messes up the order, he doesn't lose his cool. He handles it calmly, politely, but firmly. When work gets stressful, he doesn't panic. He prioritizes. He problem solves. He stays focused. This doesn't mean being emotionless. It means being in control of your emotions instead of letting them control you. It means having the emotional intelligence to know when to express feelings and when to channel them into productive action. Women are attracted to this because on a primal level, they're looking for a man who can be their rock, someone who can handle whatever life throws at them, someone who won't crumble under pressure. And the beautiful thing about developing this trait, it makes your own life infinitely better, regardless of attraction. 5. Subtle rebellion. Let's be honest, women don't fantasize about the nice guy who always plays it safe. They fantasize about the one who bends rules, questions norms, and walks his own path. Without being reckless, a little rebellion shows independence. It says, I'm not afraid to live by my own code. Wear the jacket no one else does. Speak the unpopular truth. Walk left when everyone else walks right. That quiet resistance, it seduces. But here's what rebellion really means in this context. It's not about being a contrarian for the sake of it. It's not about breaking rules just to prove you can. It's about having the courage to be yourself, even when that self doesn't fit perfectly into society's boxes. Maybe you're the guy who reads philosophy books at the coffee shop while everyone else scrolls their phones. Maybe you're the one who chooses hiking over Netflix on weekends. Maybe you have opinions that don't perfectly align with your friend group's politics. The key is that your rebellion comes from authenticity, not performance. You're not trying to be different. You just are different. And you're comfortable with that difference. This trait is attractive because it signals that you can't be controlled or manipulated. You have your own mind, your own values, your own path. And in a world full of followers, leaders stand out. Too much politeness is forgettable. Controlled defiance is unforgettable. 6. Silent intelligence. No one likes a show-off, but there's something wildly attractive about a man who listens more than he speaks. And when he does speak, it's clear he sees the world differently. Women notice when your responses are thoughtful, when your questions are sharp, when your observations go beyond the surface. This kind of intelligence isn't loud. It doesn't brag. It doesn't quote Nietzsche. It just sits there, calm, quiet, and undeniably powerful. True intelligence isn't about proving you're the smartest person in the room. It's about being curious about the world and the people in it. It's about asking questions that make others think. It's about making connections others miss. When someone tells you about their job, you don't just nod and say, "Cool." You ask them what they love about it, what challenges them, how they got started. You're genuinely interested in understanding their experience. When there's a problem to solve, you don't jump to the first obvious solution. You think it through from different angles. You consider consequences others might miss. This intelligence shows up in how you consume media too. Instead of just watching whatever's trending, you seek out content that challenges you. Instead of reading just headlines, you dig deeper. Instead of having surface-level opinions, you develop nuanced perspectives. Women are attracted to this because intelligent conversation is rare. Most people are waiting for their turn to talk, but you're actually listening, processing, and responding with insight. 7. Presence over performance. Here's the final one, and it's the most powerful of all. Attractive men don't try to be liked. They don't chase attention. They don't perform. They just exist, fully. They're present, not distracted by their phone, not fidgeting, not thinking about what to say next. They're grounded in the moment, and that presence is rare. It makes people feel seen. It makes women feel drawn in without knowing why. You don't need tricks. You just need to be fully here. In our hyper-connected, constantly distracted world, true presence has become a superpower. When you're talking to someone and your phone buzzes, you don't automatically check it. When you're in a conversation, you're actually in the conversation, not planning your next story or looking over their shoulder to see who else is around. This presence extends beyond just social situations. When you're doing something, you're fully doing it. When you're eating, you taste your food. When you're walking, you notice your surroundings. When you're working, you focus completely. This mindfulness, this groundedness, it's magnetic because it's so rare. Most people are living half-lives, always partially somewhere else. But when you're fully present, people feel it. They feel seen, heard, valued. And that feeling? It's addictive. Performance is exhausting. Presence is irresistible. The integration, now let's recap. None of these 7 traits require good looks. None require money, status, or a six-pack. They require something most men neglect: inner power. A man who can be calm, mysterious, grounded, and unapologetically himself will always stand out. Because he's not performing, he's not chasing, he's just being. And women feel that energy like a shock to the system. But here's the thing most guys miss. These traits work together. They compound. Mystery without presence is just being distant. Rebellion without calmness is just being chaotic. Intelligence without spatial confidence is just being a know-it-all. It's the combination, the integration of all these elements that creates true magnetism. And the beautiful irony? The more you develop these traits for their own sake, for your own growth, your own peace of mind, your own authenticity, the more naturally attractive you become. You stop trying to be attractive and start just being attractive. So which of these traits do you already have? Which one are you going to start sharpening today? Drop your number in the comments, 1 through 7. And if this video gave you a wake-up call, like this video. Subscribe to this channel for more weekly drops on dark psychology, dating dynamics, and the truth women won't say out loud. Check out our next video, 7 Gentleman Habits that instantly reveal you're a high-class man, even without saying a word, because power is silent, and attraction starts before you speak. Thanks for watching. Now go. Be the man who doesn't need validation, because that's the man no one can ignore.